Alright, so let's pretend that everything in our in and out points here is colored, it's corrected, it's ready to be exported. The easiest way to render is to set in and out points on your timeline. You can do that simply by hitting I for in and O for out. You can also edit that in your keyboard shortcuts that we talked about earlier. Alright, and what we're going to do is go to File, Export, Media. So we have a couple tabs up here. The main thing we want to look at is our export settings. If you're curious what your in and out points are, you can see that it selected our in and out points right here on this timeline. Everything outside of here is outside of our in and out points. Our source range is the range that we are exporting. So if we wanted to, we could select the entire sequence, which is outside of our in and out points, sequence into out, the work area, or custom. Let's keep it at sequence in to out. You can keep fit at fit. You can keep all this stuff the same. Okay. Format. For our purposes, let's keep it at H.264. It's a very standard video compression codec. Preset. I have a few custom presets here. The easiest of which to remember for our purposes, and what's probably most helpful, is match source high bitrate. This is going to retain as much information as possible without compressing the video too much that we lose quality and make all of our work render it useless. So match source high bitrate. Output name is where we're going to title our video. So we're going to go back to the episode we were working on. We're going to go to our masters folder and then title this as our final export, multicam export, whatever you want to call it. Okay. File format, it's going to default to MP4, which is what we selected by our format and our preset. It creates a MP4 file for us. Always make sure export video and export audio are selected. We get a summary of all of our settings here. We can go to effects. We can even apply LUTs here if we wanted to. But we don't want to do that. We don't really need to mess with effects too much. Alright, so leave all that the same. Video, since we selected match source, it defaulted to 1080p full HD, which is what we shot in, which is great. If we ever need to change that, you could deselect there, but that's not necessary. Frame rate, all this stuff is as the source file that we imported all the way back from our file organization video. It's matching the attributes of that file, which is what we want. Okay, let's always render at maximum depth. Encoding settings, that's fine. Bitrate settings, this is the big part here. Let's keep, first of all, bitrate is the overall, I don't know the most about bitrate, but a low bitrate will be easier to scrub through on Vimeo or YouTube, but the quality is much lower. A high bitrate is a very dense video that has really high quality, but it's so full of information that it's really difficult to watch through streaming. You'd have to download it and watch it that way, which is not convenient for anyone who's trying to watch these episodes. So I'd say it is safest to keep our bitrate encoding at VBR 1 pass, our target bitrate around 10, and our maximum bitrate around 10. You can see that changing your bitrate will also change your estimated file size. Let's just say we add it to 20. We literally doubled our file size by changing the target bitrate to 20. 10 is totally easy to watch and very enjoyable. There's no problems with 10. I would not go any lower than 8, and I would not go any higher than 20. That's just what I've learned in my experience. Audio, AAC is fine. Basic audio settings are fine. Don't need to worry about any of this other stuff. We're always going to use the maximum render quality. We don't need to select any of these other toggles. Frame sampling is fine. And then all we're going to do is hit export. Now it's encoding all of our footage. If we have a section in our timeline that is not rendered yet, it'll render it for us here. And now we just simply wait. And once this is all finished, we'll go back to our folder where we selected the video file to go and QC the video for any defects or flaws. Okay, so everything just finished exporting. So we're going to go back to our destination folder. And look at that, there it is. We got 55 megabytes, we got 1080p, we got 43 seconds, and we can just QC it real quick.
China doesn't exist.
Great. And it looks like we were all exported. From here, we would take this to Vimeo or YouTube or another video platform that would host this video file. And simply put, that is how you export.